Hey there, you're looking kind of cute. Don't forget to subscribe and check out all my other socials. Enjoy. Light woke someone sleeping under lavender sheets. The person stretched and started to wake up, feeling confused. A small hand moved quickly, touching the person's face and body. The hand stopped when it felt a new, curvy shape. The person felt scared and quietly said, "Oh no," as the morning showed something had changed. Across the hall, someone else woke up, also upset. This person spoke, but the voice was lower and rougher than before. "Danielle? Danielle!" Loud footsteps came down the hallway. The door opened fast. Darian stood there in his usual black t-shirt and jeans, but his face looked very worried. "We need to talk. Now." The figure in bed scrambled up, catching sight of themselves in the mirror. Where Darian's athletic male form should have been stood Danielle's petite frame, dressed in her purple nightgown. The blonde hair that usually hung just past masculine shoulders now cascaded down to the middle of a decidedly feminine back. "This isn't happening. Tell me this isn't happening." "Oh, it's happening." The person who looked like Darian crossed their arms. "That stupid spell book. I told you not to mess with it." "You're the one who dared me to try the transformation spell." "I meant turn a frog into a prince or something, not this." Danielle gestured at her brother's body she now inhabited. "God, everything feels weird. How do you walk around with all this extra equipment?" "Don't even start. These," Darian looked down at his sister's chest, "are going to give me back problems. And why is everything so cold?" "Because you're wearing my nightgown, genius. Get dressed. Mom's going to call us for breakfast any minute." "Dressed? In what? Your clothes?" Darian's voice pitched even higher with panic. "I can't wear your goth stuff." "Well, you can't wear your football jersey either. It'll look ridiculous on my body." "Your body, right." Darian moved to the closet, pulling it open to reveal an array of black, purple, and burgundy clothing. "Everything's so dark. Don't you own anything normal?" "That is normal. For me." Danielle watched as her brother rifled through hangers. "The black dress with the lace collar. That'll work for today." "A dress? Absolutely not." "Fine, the black jeans and purple sweater then. Bottom drawer for undergarments." Darian's face flushed red. "I am not having this conversation." "You want to go without? Because trust me, you'll regret it." 20 minutes and several arguments later, Darian emerged from the bathroom wearing the suggested outfit. The black jeans hugged curves he wasn't used to having, and the purple sweater felt soft against skin that seemed more sensitive than before. Danielle had applied minimal makeup, just black eyeliner and purple lipstick, despite his protests. "I look like I'm going to a funeral." "You look like me, which is the point." Danielle had dressed in Darian's usual attire, khaki pants and a green polo shirt. "This feels like wearing a costume." "Now you know how I feel." Darian tugged at the sweater. "Everything's so tight." "It's called fitted. Your clothes are all baggy." Danielle headed for the door. "Come on, act natural." They descended the stairs together, each fighting their body's unfamiliar gait. Their mother stood at the stove, flipping pancakes. "Morning, sweethearts." "Danielle, honey, could you set the table?" "Darian, grab the orange juice from the fridge." The siblings froze, exchanging panicked glances. After a beat, Darian moved toward the cabinets while Danielle went to the refrigerator. "Other way around, kids. You feeling all right?" "Just tired," they said in unison, quickly switching tasks. Their mother turned, spatula in hand, and studied them. "Danielle, you're wearing less makeup than usual. And Darian, did you do something different with your hair?" "Trying a new look," Danielle mumbled, running fingers through the short hair she now sported. "And I wanted to try something more dramatic," Darian added, touching the long blonde locks nervously. "Well, it suits you both. Sit down. Breakfast is ready." They took their usual seats, which felt strange in their swapped bodies. Darian had to adjust how he sat, crossing legs at the ankle like he'd seen Danielle do countless times. Danielle sprawled in her chair, then caught herself and sat up straighter. "So what's on the agenda today?" Their mother set plates in front of them. "Darian, don't you have football practice?" "I might skip today, not feeling great." Danielle pushed pancakes around her plate. You never miss practice? Are you sure you're okay? He's fine, Darian interjected. Just needs a day off. Their mother's eyebrows rose. Since when do you advocate for your brother missing practice, Danielle? Usually you're calling him a meathead for spending so much time on the field. People change? Apparently so, and rapidly. Their mother returned to the stove. Well, if you're both free, maybe you could clean out the garage like I've been asking. Actually, Danielle said, we were thinking of going to the library. The library? Their mother nearly dropped her spatula. Darian, you want to go to the library? To study. For the history test. Danielle kicked Darian under the table. Right, the history test. That I need to study for. Darian forced a smile. With your sister? The one you called, and I quote, a pretentious book nerd who probably dreams in iambic pentameter? I'm helping him, Darian said quickly. Tutoring, being a good sister. Who are you, and what have you done with my children? Their mother laughed, but there was suspicion in her eyes. Fine, library it is. But I want that garage cleaned this weekend. They finished breakfast in relative silence, hyper-aware of every gesture and mannerism that might give them away. Darian kept forgetting to tuck the long blonde hair behind his ears when it fell in his face. Danielle caught herself manspreading twice. Back upstairs, they convened in Danielle's room. That was a disaster. Darian collapsed on the bed. She totally knows something's wrong. She doesn't know we switched bodies. That's not exactly the first conclusion people jump to. Danielle paced, a gesture that looked odd in Darian's larger frame. We need to get to that spell book and figure out how to reverse this. The book's at school, in my locker. Then we'll have to go get it. To school? Like this? Darian gestured at himself. I can't go to school as you. You don't have a choice. Unless you want to explain to everyone why Danielle suddenly disappeared and Darian grew his hair out overnight and started wearing gothic makeup. This is insane. Darian stood, wobbling slightly in the black ankle boots Danielle had insisted he wear. I don't know how to be you. And I don't know how to be you, but we're going to have to figure it out. Danielle grabbed her brother's backpack, then switched it for her own messenger bag. Just act moody and mysterious. Don't smile too much. You smile? Not at school, I don't. I have a reputation. Danielle headed for the door. And whatever you do, don't let Tyler Henderson flirt with you. Tyler flirts with you? Darian's voice cracked. That creep from the wrestling team? He's been trying to ask me out for weeks. I keep shutting him down, but he's persistent. I'll shut him down all right with my fist. My fist? Which is much smaller than you're used to. Danielle sighed. Just avoid him. And Rebecca Martinez. She's been trying to get me to join her poetry club. Tell her you're too busy exploring the darkness of your soul or something. The darkness of my... Danielle, I can't talk like that. Then don't talk. Be mysterious. I do a lot of meaningful staring. They made their way to Danielle's car, a black sedan with purple pinstriping that Darian had always mocked. He fumbled with the keys, dropping them twice. These nails are too long. How do you function? Practice? And those are actually short for me. Danielle squeezed into the passenger seat, adjusting it to accommodate her brother's longer legs. Remember, you drive now. I supposedly don't have my license yet. Right. Darian started the car, gripping the wheel. This is so weird. Everything looks different from this height. You'll adjust. Just don't hit anything. The drive to school was tense. Darian kept checking the mirrors, paranoid about his driving in this new, smaller body. The blonde hair kept getting in his eyes, despite the purple hair clip Danielle had given him. Stop touching your face, Danielle warned. You'll smudge the makeup. It feels weird, like I'm wearing a mask. Welcome to being a girl. The mask is mandatory. Danielle spotted the school ahead. Okay, game plan. We get in, get the book from your locker, and get out. Minimal interaction. On a Tuesday? Good luck with that. Darian pulled into the parking lot, choosing a spot near the back. Everyone's going to wonder why we're skipping. Then we'll say we're sick. Food poisoning from breakfast. Mom made that breakfast. Then we'll say we ate something bad last night. Danielle unbuckled her seatbelt. Just follow my lead, or I'll follow your lead, since I'm supposed to be you. They entered through the side door, hoping to avoid the main hallways. The universe had other plans. "Yo, Darian!" A cluster of football players stood by the lockers. "Where were you this morning? Coach was looking for you." Danielle deepened her voice, trying to match her brother's usual tone. "Had to help my sister with something." "Since when do you help Wednesday Addams with anything?" The joke got a round of laughter. "Watch it," Darian snapped, forgetting to maintain Danielle's usual calm demeanor. The football players looked surprised. "Whoa, defensive much? What's wrong with you, D?" "Nothing, just leave her alone." Danielle grabbed Darian's arm. "Come on, Danielle, let's go." They hurried down the hall, leaving confused athletes in their wake. "Wednesday Addams? Really?" Darian hissed. "That's what they call me?" "Among other things. I told you to ignore them. They're jerks. They're your friends." "Not anymore." They reached Darian's locker. Danielle spun the combination, muscle memory serving her well. The spellbook sat wedged between a chemistry textbook and a gym bag. "Got it." She slipped the leather-bound volume into the messenger bag. "Now let's get out of here before—" "Danielle, there you are!" A perky brunette in a yellow sundress bounced up to them. "Did you think about the poetry club? We're meeting Thursday, and I really think you'd love it. We're exploring the intersection of darkness and light in modern verse." Darian stared blankly. Darkness? "She's not interested, Rebecca," Danielle intervened. "We have to go." "Darian, why are you answering for your sister?" Rebecca's smile faltered. "And why are you wearing cologne? You smell like a department store." "I tried something new?" "You smell like my dad." Rebecca wrinkled her nose. "Anyway, Danielle, just think about it. Your poem about the void was so moving in English class." "The void, right. I'll think about it." Darian backed away slowly. "Are you feeling okay? You seem different today. Less intense." "Food poisoning," both siblings said simultaneously. Rebecca's eyes narrowed. "From what?" "Bad sushi," Danielle said. "Expired milk?" Darian said at the same time. "Bad sushi and expired milk," Danielle corrected. "It was an experiment." "That our mom made," Darian added helpfully. Rebecca backed away. "Okay, you're both being super weird. I'm going to go." She hurried off, shooting glances over her shoulder. "Smooth," Danielle muttered. "Real smooth. How was I supposed to know you wrote poetry about the void? Because I'm your sister? You could try paying attention once in a while." They made it halfway to the exit before running into the one person they'd hoped to avoid. "Danielle? Been looking for you." Tyler Henderson leaned against the wall, all muscle and misplaced confidence. "You never answered my text?" "What text?" Darian asked, then caught himself. "I mean, I've been busy." "Too busy for dinner? Come on, one date. I'll take you somewhere nice. Somewhere that matches your whole aesthetic." He gestured at Darian's outfit. "There's this new place downtown, Crimson. Very dark, very mysterious. Right up your alley." "I don't have an alley." Tyler laughed. "See? You're funny. I like that about you." "What else do you like?" Darian crossed his arms, forgetting to maintain Danielle's typically aloof posture. "Well," Tyler moved closer, "I like how you're different. Not like other girls. You've got this whole mysterious thing going on. Plus, you're gorgeous, even with all the dark makeup." "Even with?" Darian's voice rose. "What's wrong with the makeup?" "Nothing. I just mean you'd be pretty without it too. Natural beauty and all that." "So you want me to change?" "No, I mean, maybe tone it down a little? For our date?" "There's not going to be a date." Darian stepped back. "Not now. Not ever. Get it through your thick skull. I'm not interested." Tyler's face darkened. "You don't have to be such a witch about it." "Better a witch than a wrestler with more steroids than brain cells." "Danielle!" Danielle grabbed her brother's arm. "We need to go. Now." "Yeah, listen to your meathead brother," Tyler sneered. "Guess it runs in the family." "What did you just say?" Danielle turned, and for a moment Darian saw their father's temper flash in her eyes. "You heard me. Whole family's weird. Gothic freak and her dumb jock brother." The punch came fast. Danielle's fist, or rather Darian's fist, connected with Tyler's jaw with a satisfying crack. The wrestler stumbled back, more shocked than hurt. "What the hell, man? Don't talk about my sister like that." Danielle flexed her fingers. Ever. A crowd was gathering. Phones appeared, ready to capture whatever drama unfolded next. Did Darian just punch Tyler? Over his sister? Since when does he care what people say about her? "We're leaving." Darian grabbed Danielle's arm, pulling her toward the exit. "Right now." They burst through the doors into the parking lot, half running to the car. Behind them, the school buzzed with gossip and speculation. "You punched him." Darian slid into the driver's seat. "You actually punched Tyler Henderson." "He had it coming." Danielle rubbed her knuckles. "God, that felt good. No wonder you like hitting things." "I don't like, okay, maybe a little." Darian started the car. "But you can't just go around punching people." "You're one to talk. Remember when you broke Kevin Murphy's nose? He insulted Mom, and Tyler insulted us. Same thing." Danielle pulled out the spell book. "Let's go to the library. We need to fix this before you get me expelled." "Before I get you expelled? You're the one throwing punches." They drove in tense silence, both processing the morning's events. The library parking lot was nearly empty, a blessing, given their current state. Inside, they found a secluded corner in the reference section. Danielle spread the spell book on the table, flipping through aged pages. "Here, transformation spells." She ran a finger down the text. Body swapping. There." "What does it say?" "It's in Latin. Give me a minute." Danielle squinted at the text. "Okay, so the spell we did last night was supposed to grant understanding between souls." "Understanding? This is understanding?" Darian gestured at himself. "I understand that your bra is trying to kill me. You get used to it. Focus." Danielle continued reading. "It says the spell exchanges physical forms to grant empathy and knowledge of another's life experience." "Great, very educational. How do we undo it?" "That's the problem." Danielle turned the page. "It says the spell must run its course." "Run its course? What does that mean?" "It means..." Danielle read further, her expression growing grim. "We're stuck like this until we truly understand each other's lives." "That's it? That's the reversal? Understanding?" Darian slumped in the chair. "What kind of bogus magic is that?" "The kind we're stuck with." Danielle closed the book. "Unless you've got a better idea." "Maybe we read it wrong. Maybe there's another spell." They spent the next 2 hours searching the book, finding nothing helpful. Other library patrons gave them odd looks. The goth girl and the jock studying together was apparently noteworthy. "This is hopeless." Darian dropped his head on the table. "We're going to be stuck like this forever." "Not forever. Just until we understand each other." Danielle leaned back. "How hard can that be? We're siblings." "Siblings who barely talk except to argue." "That's not..." "Okay, that's fair." Danielle sighed. "When did we stop being close?" "Probably around the time you decided black was the only color worth wearing, and I decided sports were more important than family game night." "You stopped coming to game night first." "Because you made it weird with all your death poetry." "It wasn't death poetry, it was about existential dread." "Same thing." "It's not the same." Danielle paused. "And we're doing it again, arguing instead of talking." They sat in silence, the weight of their situation settling over them like a heavy blanket. "I don't understand you," Darian admitted quietly. "The clothes, the makeup, the whole dark aesthetic. Why?" "Because it feels like me." Danielle, in Darian's body, looked at her hands. "When I put on the makeup, wear the clothes, I feel like I'm showing the world who I really am inside, not hiding behind some fake smile or preppy outfit." "But you used to wear colors. Remember that pink dress you loved in middle school?" "I remember. I also remember Brittany Humber calling me a tryhard for wearing it." Danielle's voice was soft. "Said I was too weird to pull off pink." "Brittany Humber was a jerk." "Yeah, but she wasn't the only one. The dark clothes became armor. If I dressed like I didn't care what people thought, maybe I'd start believing it." Darian absorbed this information. I didn't know that. You never asked. There was no accusation in the tone, just fact. What about you? When did football become everything? It's not everything. Darian, your entire room is covered in trophies and team photos. Okay, fine. Maybe it's a lot. Darian fidgeted with the purple sweater. Dad was so proud when I made varsity as a sophomore. You should have seen his face. I did see his face. I was there. No, I mean, after, when he'd introduce me to people. This is my son, the quarterback. Like I'd finally done something worth bragging about. He brags about you too. This is my daughter. She gets straight A's and reads a lot. It's not the same. Darian met her eyes. I'm not saying it's right. Just, football made me someone. Not just Danielle's little brother. You were never just my little brother. Wasn't I? The smart, talented older sister and her dumb jock brother. You're not dumb. My GPA begs to differ. Because you spend all your time at practice instead of studying. Danielle leaned forward. You're smart, Darian. You just don't apply yourself to academics. Easy for you to say. Everything comes easy to you. No, it doesn't. Danielle's voice grew firm. I study for hours every night. I write and rewrite papers until they're perfect. Nothing comes easy. I just work where people can't see it. They fell silent again, processing these revelations. Your clothes are really uncomfortable, Darian offered after a moment. Your body spray could strip paint. Danielle smiled slightly. Seriously, how much do you use? The can says a generous spray. One spray, not a shower. They both laughed, tension breaking slightly. We should probably head home. Mom will wonder where we are. Wait. Darian pulled out his phone. We need a plan. If we're stuck like this, we need to know each other's schedules, friends, everything. You're right. Danielle took out her own phone. Okay, your football practice is every day after school except Fridays. Weight training, MWF mornings. Your poetry club is Tuesdays, debate team Thursdays, and you volunteer at the animal shelter Saturdays. You know my schedule? I pay attention sometimes. Darian scrolled through his calendar. You've got that history test tomorrow, the one we supposedly studied for. World War II. I can handle it. Danielle made notes. You have a chemistry quiz Thursday. Chemistry? Darian paled. I'm barely passing chemistry. Good thing I'm not, Danielle grinned. I'll take it for you. That's cheating. That's survival. Unless you want to explain why Darian suddenly forgot everything about chemical bonds. They spent another hour exchanging information. Friends' names, teachers' expectations, even locker combinations. It felt like preparing for the world's strangest exam. Oh, and Brittany Morrison has a crush on you, Danielle mentioned casually. Brittany? Really? Darian perked up, then caught himself. I mean, that's nice. You like her too. It wasn't a question. Why haven't you asked her out? Because she's smart and pretty and probably thinks I'm just another dumb jock. You are really stuck on this dumb thing. Danielle shook her head. She tutored you in Spanish last year. She knows you're not dumb. She was just being nice. She turned down 3 other tutoring requests to help you. How do you know that? Because I talk to people sometimes. Despite what the football team thinks, I'm not actually a hermit. Danielle stood. Come on, we need to get home before Mom sends a search party. The drive home was quieter, both lost in thought. The blonde hair that had annoyed Darian all morning now felt less foreign, though he still struggled with keeping it out of his face. You need to braid it, Danielle suggested, watching him fight with the long strands. I'll show you when we get home. I'm not wearing a braid. You'd rather eat hair all day? Good point. Their mother was in the kitchen when they arrived, preparing lunch. How was the library? Educational, they said in unison. You two are being strange today. She studied them with maternal intuition. Something you want to tell me? Nope, Darian said quickly. Nothing at all, Danielle added. Their mother clearly didn't believe them, but chose not to push. Lunch will be ready in 20 minutes. Darian, you have practice at 3. Actually, Danielle started, then caught Darian's warning look. Right. Practice, 3 o'clock. They escaped upstairs, reconvening in Danielle's room. I can't go to football practice, Danielle said immediately. I don't know the plays, the positions, anything. And I can't go to your poetry club. I don't even like poetry. Darian sat at the vanity, staring at his reflection. We need to tell someone. Tell them what? That we magically swapped bodies? They'll think we've lost our minds. Maybe we have. Darian picked up a tube of lipstick, examining it. How do you get this stuff off anyway? Makeup remover? Top drawer? Danielle flopped on the bed. We need a better plan than just winging it. What about the spell? Maybe we're not understanding each other right. We just spent 3 hours talking about our lives. Talking isn't the same as understanding. Darian found the makeup remover, starting to clean his face. Maybe we need to actually live each other's lives, not just go through the motions. You mean? I need to really be you, not just wear your clothes and avoid your classes. Darian paused. And you need to be me, really be me. I don't know if I can do that. Neither do I, but what choice do we have? The makeup came off, revealing pale skin underneath. We could be stuck like this for days, weeks, maybe longer. Don't say that. I'm just being realistic. Darian turned from the mirror. So what do you say? We really try? No half measures? Danielle considered this. Okay, but if we're doing this, we're doing it right. Starting with your practice this afternoon. You're going to practice? I'm going to practice. You're going to help me understand the plays first. Danielle sat up. And tonight you're writing in my journal. You have a journal? Black leather, silver lock, under the bed. Danielle smiled at his expression. What, you thought the poetry came from nowhere? I just never thought about it. Lot of that going around. Danielle stood. Come on, let's get you ready for the real Danielle experience, starting with reapplying that makeup. Do I have to? Would I leave the house without it? No, Darian admitted reluctantly. Then neither do you. Sit still. For the next 20 minutes, Danielle taught her brother the basics of Gothic makeup application. Black eyeliner, not too thick, you're not a raccoon. Purple lipstick, blot, don't smear. And a touch of dark eyeshadow. Blend, always blend. This is exhausting, Darian complained as Danielle fixed his 6th attempt at eyeliner. Welcome to feminine beauty standards. Aren't they fun? Danielle stepped back. There, you look like me again. I look like I'm going to sacrifice a chicken. I have never sacrificed anything, poultry or otherwise. Danielle moved to the closet. Now, what am I wearing to practice? They selected appropriate athletic wear from Darian's room, then spent an hour going over football basics. Danielle took notes, sketching plays and positions with surprising accuracy. You're good at this, Darian observed. I've watched enough of your games, figured some of it would sink in. Danielle practiced throwing motions. This body has good muscle memory. I think I can fake it. Just don't get tackled too hard. I bruise easily. Now you tell me. Their mother called up the stairs. Darian, you'll be late for practice. Coming. Danielle grabbed the gym bag. Wish me luck. You'll need it. Coach Harrison hates tardiness. Darian walked her to the door. And remember, you're the captain. Act like it. How does a captain act? Confident? Authoritative? Like you know what you're doing even when you don't? So, like me during debate tournaments? Exactly like that. Danielle headed out, leaving Darian alone in the house. He wandered back to his sister's room, feeling oddly displaced. Everything about the space reflected Danielle's personality. The dark curtains, the bookshelves lined with classic literature and poetry volumes, the wall covered in band posters for groups he'd never heard of. The journal sat where she'd said, under the bed in a small locked box. The key hung on a chain nearby. Darian opened it carefully, feeling like an intruder despite having permission. The first page was dated 3 years ago. Danielle's handwriting was neat, precise, nothing like his own chicken scratch. He began to read. Sometimes I feel like I'm drowning in expectations. Be smart, be pretty, be normal. But what if normal doesn't fit? What if the real me is too much or not enough or just wrong? Darian turned pages, reading entries about school, friends, their family. His name appeared frequently, not always flatteringly. Darian made quarterback today. Dad actually cried. I got into National Honor Society last week and he said, "That's nice, honey," while watching Sports Center. I know I shouldn't compare, but it hurts. More pages, more insights into a sister he'd lived with his whole life, but apparently never really known. Wore all black today. Felt like armor against the world. Brittany Humber asked if I was going through a phase. Maybe I am. Maybe the phase is finally being myself. The most recent entry was from last week. Found a spell book in that weird shop downtown. The owner said it was just a novelty, but something about it feels real. Dangerous, maybe. Or maybe I just want to believe in magic because reality is disappointing. Either way, I'm going to try something. What's the worst that could happen? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my other socials if you want more content, early access, behind the scenes, and more. All links down below.